How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be reviewing this awesome 18-inch RGB ring light made by WEEYLITE. I think that's how its name is pronounced, so WEEYLITE. Let me ask them. They don't know either. I was gonna save the RGB for later because this is one of the things that draw most of my attention to it, because most of you guys probably know, people that watch my channel here know that I can't resist RGB lights. So anything RGB, I want to have it. So this light not only features bicolor, but also features RGB and also 17 special effects. And over here is the front of the light. As you can see, has plenty of diffusion, and it doesn't have those things that you actually clamp in here, which I really don't like. Let me show you something. So this is the usual ring light that you're gonna find everywhere, but this type of setup here, they have to remove things, and I really don't like this type of setup. This comes as is. There's nothing to detach here. And the tungsten filters that they send with this light is absolutely a joke, because this is just an orange thing. It has nothing to do with tungsten light. And this light here, expect a little error in differences in Kelvin degrees. For example, if it says 5600, it might be at 52.500 degrees Kelvin. But with that said, you can actually just adjust whatever looks good in your camera. If it is a little too warm or too cold, right now I'm actually shooting Canon C100 Mark II at 5600 degrees Kelvin. My face looks okay over here. This is the fill, and as you can see, the color temperature with my Godox SL60W is pretty much on par. So in your camera, if it happens to be a little cooler or a little warmer, all you have to do is come back here, as you know, and adjust the color temperature, which is a simple press of a button, and the color temperature flashes here, and then you adjust to 52 or 57, whatever looks good. When you unbox this light, it comes with the light itself, also a power supply with very generous amount of wire. They can reach most outlets, and also simply press this button here. This comes off. This comes also included not only with the US type of outlets, but other countries as well. So all you gotta do is twist this in here, and it is closed. Now the stand that comes with this light is simple, extremely easy to open at any position, but the way they made it is reasonably stable and also very easy to collapse and store. What I like the most about it and how it's designed and how wide it can go for maximum sturdiness and stability. But you can also open halfway as they stand away, but never operate the light with the light stand set this way, as you will most definitely fall and damage your light. For maximum stability, always retract 1 inch down from each pole section, as the inner poles will not break or feel weak. Don't extend it fully extended like that. Make sure everything and every knob is tight, but do not over tighten it. And lastly, just to be extra neat and not losing things or avoiding your remote to be stepped on, install a little Velcro here and secure everything on the light itself when it's not in use. And it also comes with this remote here, which by the way feels great in the hand for being a little thicker than usual, and the size is perfect, so when you hold it feels good. And also it comes with this beautifully lit LCD display, which has the same exact information that you see on the main display of the light. So everything that you see here, it's in here. The display times out in a few seconds, so all you have to do is press one of these buttons here and the LCD light will come back again. To power the light, of course, you can actually choose the AC option. Just find your nearest outlet there. Notice there has a lock here for releasing the battery. So this is powered by 2 Sony MPF battery, which I recommend the biggest ones. Now before you turn on this light, this type of power switch here, voltage can flow over here, so you're actually not charging your battery. You're actually going to be damaging the battery because there is current over here. So to demonstrate what I'm talking about here, I have the light plugged in on the outlet with the DC power supply, and as you can see, there is current flowing here. So you're having an excess of 14 volts of current running through these terminals here, so you don't want that. So what you want to do is power this off here, remove this, and then as you can see, there is no more current flowing over here, which is safe now to put your battery. So again, never power this light using the DC adapter and the batteries at the same time. It's either this or that. It also comes with a little cell phone holder here, which has a 1/4 20-inch thread for you to put any other accessory that you might want here. And it comes with the little shoe mount on the bottom. It does not feature any 1/4 20 threads here. It's just a shoe mount. Then you can actually slide here this way or the other way, whichever way you prefer. This accessory here will let you adjust your phone to portrait or landscape mode, or 360, as long as this is loose. However, this does not tilt, but if you need to tilt the phone, it's very easy. You just grab the light real quick here, because you're going to be loosening this knob. You can actually tilt your phone a little bit, or all the way down to all the way up like that. So who is this light for? I would say people who are starting the YouTube channel, or also in general. I see a lot of people unboxing these ring lights, and girls, they love this type of ring light here. So my wife saw this light when I brought it downstairs here. She just said to me that as soon as the review is done, she's gonna be taking over this light. It's gonna become her property. So there you go. This light can also be used in professional applications in cases you have shooting a product in the studio and your softbox is getting in the way, or whatever light that you have, they just get in the frame. For example, product photography, you can actually utilize this light here to shoot with the camera shooting through this thing here, and then you just maneuver your product here so it doesn't get any reflections like that. You know, it will look like this, right? But respecting the distance, because if you bring the product too close, you're gonna actually be outside the scope of the light. So the distance, I would recommend something like this here, or any distance as long as you don't pass it through here. So this light can be used for a lot of fun. You can bring this to a party, especially that has effects, it has RGB. You can also use this light here as a background, splash for the wall, whether you're doing like a little makeup tutorial on YouTube, stuff like that. If you are like a hairdresser or a wedding, doing a bridal preparation there, this light is perfect for that. You want the light a little cooler, you turn this on here on and off, or a key light. This is actually pretty decently diffused. So at the time I make of this video, this light is being sold for $119.99. The price can vary for many reasons, but right now this is how much the light costs. And for that kind of price, I think this is an amazing little RGB little ring light that you can even use in professional applications. If you take into account that, for example, if you set the light to 5600 Kelvin, don't expect this to be scientifically exact precision to 5600 degrees Kelvin. Of course, you're gonna have a little variation of Kelvin degrees up to even 400 degrees Kelvin. But right now, this thing is set to 5600 degrees Kelvin. My camera is actually shooting on manual Kelvin degrees. And I think color-wise, I mean, my monitor is a small HD. It's a little monitor. I can't really see much from here. But this looks pretty decent. As far as, this is the Godox SL60W that I'm shooting here, which I'm actually using a budget light with another budget light to make sense, instead of putting an Aperture 300D Mark II here. So I'm comparing apples to apple. This is a 60W Godox, and this is a little $120 little light. And as you can see, if this is a little bit too cold to your taste or too warm, all you gotta do is adjust slightly to 54 degrees or 51 or something in that neighborhood here, until you see whenever it will match to your taste. So with that out of the way, it's okay. So in this case here, when you want to change the color temperature, it's very common, these lights, to do this. A lot of other brands also do the same thing. So with lights like this, for maximum accuracy, as close as possible to whatever setting that you do as far as Kelvin degrees go, you're gonna have to use this light at a minimum of 25%, and then when you do your color temperature here, it responds better, I think. But if you lower this to 10%, to 2%, it's not gonna respond well. The actual dimming, the actual gradient change from 2500 to 8500, it's gonna be a little more aggressive. I'm gonna show you. Right now I'm at 3%, all the way down to 2500 degrees Kelvin. And there's a big jump on the LEDs here, so I don't think the color temperature is altering anyway. Right now I'm at 7000 degrees. So it's either all the way down to super warm or somewhere in between, or super cold. So it goes like 2500 and then 5500 some Kelvin, and then straight 8500 to what I can see here. Now when you change this to 30%, for example, the whole story changes. I'm at 2500 degrees Kelvin. I'm gonna keep this a little distant for exposure wise. And then the LEDs are more gentle. I can see it gradually changing from the warm to the cold, so it's more gradual. Now most of you guys are used to lights that range from 2300 to 5600. This light here, for example, goes all the way to 8500, which means when you are setting to 5600 degrees Kelvin, you're gonna see both the tungsten and the daylight turning on to make the 5600 Kelvin happen, because those LEDs here, they're native 8500 Kelvin, not 5600. So to sum up everything here, for 120 bucks, this light got bicolor, it got RGB, it got 17 effects, battery option, so you can take this on the field. The display, every control here is very easy to operate. The light is very light. It's pretty enough. Do I recommend this light? Absolutely yes. I think this light is a lot of fun, and my wife also loves the light. She's actually going to be stealing this light from me after I'm done with this review here. The only cons that I see with this light and every single other light of this price range and this type of light here, they will always going to behave a little strange on a 1%, 10% capacity. This is the nature of this lights over here due to the software and the components of this light. Otherwise, it would cost $500, $700. If this is what you're looking for to even use this in the professional applications, yes, you can, taking into account that you're going to be dealing with a slight variation of Kelvin degrees and a lot of other things. But this light is mainly designed for people that start their YouTube channel or take this to a party to use the effects, or wedding makeup artists to shine some light on the bride, a little cool, a little warm, but nothing scientific, you know, exactly 58.4 degrees Kelvin, none of that stuff. If that's what you're trying to do, for example, shooting a line of diamonds for a catalog company or doing some high-end commercials, this is gonna be a different level. You're gonna be looking at the Lupo lighting, you know, Generate, Luxley, our sky panel, stuff like that. This light is for fun and it does the job. You got the effects, you got everything. So I think it is a fantastic light to what it is. You know, there's a lot of people that don't read the manual, right? About 98% of people. So to figure out something that's so simple on a 2-page manual. So if you try to figure out here how to change the group or the channel number, you're gonna be here all day for a week trying to figure this out, and you won't. So read the manual, but actually you don't need to read the manual because I'm here to avoid reading the manual. So you just power this off. All you gotta do is press the main knob here, hold it, turn on the power button, and then the display will change to the channel, and then it varies from 01 to 19, and then you tap this button again here, it's gonna switch to groups number A, B, C, D, and F. Power the light off, and then power back on, the main display comes back. Now the remote control is a different story. As soon as you press the channel group button here, it's gonna be immediately switching from group A, B, C, D, E, and F. So it's gonna be very easy for you to accidentally change the group here and your remote no longer works. So make sure you don't accidentally hit this button here. Now to change the channel numbers, you have to press and hold, and then the channel starts flashing. And then from the plus and minus, you can actually change your channels the same way from 1 to 19. In my case here, I only have one of these lights, so it's set to group A, channel 1, same exact thing here, group A, channel 1. Everything else in this light is self-explanatory. You just will be able to see as soon as you start fumbling with these knobs here. The only complicated thing is the group and the channel numbers. Now to change from the CCT, which is bicolor, to the RGB and to the dedicated single RGB choices and the effects, all you have to do is press and hold, but again, remind you guys, you have to light press real quick here to change between the Kelvin degrees or the actual intensity of the light. Now if you want to change from the CCT, which is the bicolor, to the RGB and the effects, simply press and hold, and then you are at the RGB. If you take more than 10 seconds, you're gonna have to press this button here again. So right now I'm on power, so I'm actually want to adjust the hue. And then you press this once, and then you just see the whole spectrum of the RGB colors on the whole 360, getting your blues, getting your magentas, getting your reds and stuff like that. And then you press it once again, you have the saturation button, which works very well because it will gradually desaturate the color, because I've seen some lights that as soon as you hit like 98%, the thing is nearly like white or something like that, right? And then you have the RGB and yellow and white all separate. For example, if you just want the red, you gotta make sure everything is on 0. You gotta make sure you select the right one that's flashing. And then this actually works as an intensity. At 0% is going to be a little bit of red, and the higher you select this thing here, it's going to get redder, which is more intense. And then you want to change to the green only, make sure everything is back to 0. And then you select your green, which is going to be green only. So when you up the numbers here, you're only controlling the brightness, the intensity of the light. If you want to mix colors, I would go to the RGB. But if you want to customize something precisely here, you just mix your artsy with the green plus blue, for example, and then you start to having these colors here, a little cyan or teal. And then the more you go, the color is going to change to heavier blue or something like that. And next, you long press this button again, you are accessing the effects mode here. Now I'm going to show you guys this app. In my case, I have an iPhone, which is iOS. You want to go to the App Store. You want to look for the WEEYLITE name. In my case, I already installed the app. So I have the light pre-set up to group A, channel 1, the same thing I did here, so the light will connect. Now when you install this app and open it for the first time, this thing automatically connects to the light, assuming that you already programmed the light to the corresponding group name and the channel number. In my case it's group A and channel 1. Now on the top left of the app you will see the power button in green, which you can actually put the light to standby. And if you want to completely shut off the light, you just flick out the switch here and physically turn it off. Let me turn this back on here. Right next to it is the channel, which as soon as you tap, you can choose, for example, the channel 5. As soon as you release your finger from the screen, it's automatically set to the channel 5. There's no confirm to do. I'm gonna go back to channel 1, which by the way, this goes all the way to channel 19. I'm gonna set it back to channel 1. Now to assign the group letters here, you have the A, B, C, D, E, and F big on the screen here. Now the interesting thing about this, for example, on the group A, I have the light set to this particular blue here, and as you can see, the light bulb here is shining the same type of blue here. On the group B, however, I am at the intensity of 25%, when on A I was at 95%, so on B I'm on 25%, and the light is actually on a green. When you up the intensity, you watch the bulb here glow like stronger color, which corresponds to the intensity of the light, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna leave this to 27%. Now the C, I'm on this whatever thing here, and on D I'm on CCT mode at 100% CCT 8500 degrees Kelvin, and on E I'm on scene mode, which is the effect, and the F back to the HSI. So as you can see, this thing is pretty cool, so pretty interesting. I'm gonna go back to A, which is what's controlling this light here. And on top again, you can switch to English or Chinese. And in the middle of the screen is your CCT mode, which you can actually control the brightness from 0 to 1% all the way to 100%. And the CCT mode all the way from 2500 degrees Kelvin to somewhere in the middle until you reach the 8500. And the response is very quick. As you can see here, I'm changing the brightness real quick. And the cool thing again, watch this little light bulb there glow. As soon as you up the intensity, it goes bright like white, and then it starts to fade into gray until off. Pretty nice little design here. So switching to the HSI mode, you have your whole disc here. And when you are in the center, you are also altering the saturation of the light. When you slide your finger close to the edges of the disc, you are at full color. And again, the response is very quick over here. Whatever you're doing, this thing just responds, which is cool. So I'm gonna set it now to kind of red, to like the 0. There you go. Now we're gonna go to the scene mode, which through the app is the easiest way for you guys to see the effects. So the scene 1 is the flash, and then you have the slow, normal, and fast. And by the way, you can also adjust your brightness from 0 to 100%. So right now I am on flash mode. The slow looks like this, the normal looks like that, and the fast, it looks like that. I'm gonna be leaving on fast now because to save time here, so you guys can see the whole cycle of each effect. Now we have the alarm, which is the police. This one, let's do slow. There you go, normal, and then fast. Cool. Then you have the movie scene. I don't know why they call this movie scene. It's supposed to be a white on CCT mode, but you know, it's cool. And the fast is gonna be the cycle here. Now we have the ramble. This is all set to fast so you can see faster what the effects does, because I have 17 of them here. Then I have the bar, some kind of a pulsing thing going on, and the birthday, I think is a little faster pulsing. And then the fairy tale, switching to like several colors here. And we have the grassland, obviously green. Okay. And then the surfing, which of course is bluish or cyanish. So it's changing gradually from teal to blue, cyan, stuff like that. And then you have the aurora. And then red. And orange. This one is oscillating between orange and yellowish, or something like that. And then you have, I guess, just the yellow and a little greenish. Next one is just green. And then the cyan blue. It keeps like pulsing, between colors and stuff, similar to cyan blue. And then you have the blue. And you have the purple. Or you can just keep doing this here. So switching between the colors. Or you can go back to the HSI and do the same exact thing. Or again, you can go to the scene again here and choose the alarm or the something like that flashes real quick. And of course, this app is run by Bluetooth instead of Wi-Fi, which means you can actually run your network normally if you are on your Verizon network or whatever, or if you are on Wi-Fi at home. This does not interfere. You still get emails, your texts, your phone calls. This is another super thing, because some other lights, they operate on Wi-Fi, which you need to connect to this light's network. This thing here is just Bluetooth. I didn't test the distance, but let me see. My place here has about, I would say, 32 feet long. Let me see if this light is going to respond. Just a second. Yeah, no problem. I'm turning the light off. Turning it on. So I just walked about 32 feet over there, so this light will probably operate 50 feet or 60 or something like that, but I see no problem operating this light at a decent distance when we are in a room for an interview, a room that's like 32 feet long, which is my studio here. So that's pretty much it for the app. It's a very simple application and has everything that this light has on this display. Also, the remote has everything that this light has, so it's a complete package here. And that's the end of the review. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to this channel, because if lighting is your thing, this is what we do here mostly, is reviewing lighting products. And please also don't forget to comment and also give me a thumbs up. That tells me that I'm doing a good job here and also helps with the YouTube algorithms with my channel. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.